Leona Valley. That's not Leona Valley. What's that little spot right there? Like where Bouquet Canyon is. It's, if you guys know where the dump is, it's kind of in between the dump and Sierra Highway. That's where it is right now. There's a lot of heavy black smoke coming out of that one area right there. So I don't know what the fuel is. Perhaps there's a structure or maybe some old cars or something going down there. Hey, Alec, they ever give any kind of numbers on fixed wing and helicopters or anything? All right. Dave is asking if it's an aircraft that crashed that may be the source. No, I did not hear that at all. I don't know where you would have got that information from. That's the source right there. Maybe not. Looks like the set from the Rockford Files. Rockford Files were at the beach, buddy. What's up, Brett? What's 6 air tank? That's easy to remember. Now we need to get 6 media aircraft up here. These are not the most exciting things to watch. Okay, everybody's talking about an aircraft down. I don't believe it. What? Now I definitely don't believe it when you told me the source. What's up, Alec? Hey, Simon Desk, you got a minute for your helicopter? A minute or a second? This is probably going to be a quick answer. Hang on. Do we have any idea what the cause may be? All right. And the rumors and speculations that there may have been an aircraft down, that is all just that? Sensationalism? All right, copy. Yeah, so that would, okay, that's like a bazillion miles away. That would not have the fire here. All right, everybody that's talking about this craziness. George Rodriguez talking about that plane crash. So this is what the deal is no aircraft down here, possibly an aircraft down at Edwards, possibly. And that means, that's at Edwards, it would not be affecting this at all. That is far, far, far from here. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle is just saying basically the same thing. So that's That's what's going on. Yes, there is a movie ranch, but the movie ranch that I personally know of is on the other side of the 14. So I can't say anything about that. I don't know. There might be, they do film up here in the Agua Dulce area. This is a very remote part of the Agua Dulce area, but I don't see any sets like that. My pilot Alec of that generation taking selfies right now with the fire in the background. Because, I mean, that's what you do. Vicky, they do, but not over here that I know of. I know that they shoot kind of closer down off of Newhall. But, yeah, I don't think it's up here. Steve coming in with the official information about the plane crash. Right, so there may have been a plane crash, but that plane crash has nothing to do with the fire that's going on in Agua Dulce. Richard's angry. You know what? There's no doubt that they probably filmed 1 out of 12 out here too, and some chips. But as far as I know, with the Rockford Files, that was all down by Zuma. He lived in a trailer. I don't even think Rocky lived up here. But I could be wrong. I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to get into a Rockford Files facts and figures pissing contest because I love the Rockford Files, but I was very young. Thomas, you're right. Anything would be better than, well, you know, this is obviously a brush fire, but very, very slow moving. What caused the fire is under investigation. And I do appreciate being called a Jedi, as I see CBS as the Rebel Forces and some other stations as the Dark Evil Empire. Oh, Louise. Everybody wants Brennan. You know what? If you would put Brennan and Alec next to each other, I mean, I don't know, man. You know, Alec is nothing to be scoffed at, I'll tell you that. But you know, I love the Brennan. He's always got those crazy hairstyles when he comes to work. Uh-oh, Brennan's listening. I mean, God, Brennan, where are you? This would be so fantastic if you were here right now. Isn't it your day off? Oh, Brendan's standing up for you, Alec. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got no Starbucks. I got Starbucks water. All right, let's do some work. Let's pay some bills. Here we go. So fire out here in the Agua Dulce area. This is going to be north of Agua Dulce, south of Palmdale. This area inhabited. There are homes out here. Saw some trailers. There is some evacuations. I was looking for Anthony Road, but they're saying Anthony Road off of Sierra Highway. My guess is that's going to be Anthony Road right there. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're saying up to 500 acres is burned. 6 fixed-wing aircraft and 6 helicopters. We missed another drop from that gosh darn sky crane. I'm going to get one before we go. LA County Fire is out here. CAL Fire is out here. The Forest Service is out here. All these guys are battling these flames this afternoon. They're talking about 240 firefighters in total on the ground and in the air battling these flames out here in Agua Dulce. One dozer down there as well. There he is. I saw him just a few minutes ago. There he is. One dozer down there as well, cutting line. When you say cutting line, that's what they're doing right there. They're basically just making a break where the fire can't get to. Now, some people that are going to be watching this that know so much about fire, I'm just kind of playing with you guys, are going to say, why is he doing it there? There's no fire there. Well, that's where they usually start, and also if the winds shift, then this area could become live again, and right now they have the opportunity to stop that fire in that area, and that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. The run right now of the fire is going to be up a hillside. It's going to be on the northwest corner of the actual fire, moving away from a bunch of structures out here. We actually saw some, what we believe to be some homes out here, some trailers. It does look a little bit industrial and maybe storage, but a lot of firefighters down there on foot. Those trucks that you see right there, those are going to be the camp crews, and they're going to be the guys that are out there really just, oh God, these guys, they're out there in the heat, climbing these hillsides with their backpacks and their shovels, basically putting out these flames. The run right now is working its way up that hillside away from a lot of these structures. Now, there is a lot of smoke out here. If you guys are familiar with the Antelope Valley area, this is not going to affect the 14 freeway. Right now, it is not affecting Sierra Highway either. It is well north of all of that and far south of Lake Elizabeth Road. That's going to be out over here past all of that. I can't even see my house from here, so that gives you an idea. I think that's the road that takes you to Bouquet Canyon. Let me see, is that, yeah, that's that pretty house. Yeah, so that's going to be the road that takes you to Bouquet Canyon, and that's Lake Elizabeth right there. So it gives you an idea, if you are local, where this fire is burning. There isn't a lot of structures out here, and basically because of the light winds this afternoon, and I don't know exactly what the humidity is, but I can tell you it's not super dry out here. So the light winds, the type of fuel, and the fact that there is some humidity, my guess is the run of the fire is going to go pretty much to the top of that hillside, and it's just going to stop in that area right there. Now, that's how they fight forest fires or vegetation fires in this case. Don't know if it's technically a brush fire, if they're putting this in the vegetation fire category. Right now, though, we do see a lot of open flames out here. Pretty scary stuff. If that was behind my house, I would not be happy. Fortunately, though, this is running up a hillside away from structures right now. A lot of black smoke. Some folks might say black smoke means it's something other than. Not necessarily. A lot of the chaparral out here contain a lot of oils, and those oils burn with that heavy black smoke. So that's what we're seeing right there. Now, the fixed wing, the one that keeps popping back in and out of my shot, these guys are going to be dropping that FOS check. We'll probably get some shots of them here in a few moments as they do those drops. Those are parts of the containment numbers. When they always talk about the fire, they'll say acreage and they'll talk about containment, that percentage number at the end. That is what these guys are doing. They're basically making these rounds, dropping that FOS check around the fire and keeping the fire from spreading. Those are the containment numbers. That, along with what those guys are doing on the ground with that one dozer, and of course the camp crews, I can't give those guys enough props. They're the ones really, that is back-breaking work, a young man's job for sure, and of course the unsung heroes of a lot of these brush fires. Right now, though, fire still continues to burn, putting up a pretty big header. We've seen a lot bigger. I don't want to exaggerate to the point where, you know, people are going to go, oh yeah. It is a good size header, easily seen from Palmdale, Blancaster, Quartz Hills, anything in the northern, up in the Antelope Valley, and of course down to the south as well. Right now, though, the fire not as dramatic as you'd think, as it's basically just making runs up these hillsides. Fire departments, you've got CAL Fire in the air, you got Forest Service down there on the ground, and of course this is an LA County fire handle. So they've got 6 helicopters dropping water. I'm sure a couple of them are going to be contract, a couple of them are going to be LA County firefighters, firefighting helicopters, and then you've got six fixed-wing aircraft as well. I'm not doing any camera trickery. Those flames really that big. Right now they're pretty much moving unchecked up a hillside, and that is what is called a run. When the fire makes a run up a hillside like that, and it's basically what it's doing. It's just consuming all the fuel quickly as it works its way up those hillsides, and then that black smoke is going to cover it up, and we can't really see it. And that's when a producer will come in, show up in my ear going, hey, we want to see flames. Why can't we see flames? Well, it's because they're underneath all the black smoke. But that's what's going on out here in Agua Dulce. They're talking about some evacuations. I don't know about mandatory. Off of Anthony and Sierra Highway. Sierra Highway right now pretty much unaffected by the fire. 14 definitely unaffected by the fire. No fire in Palmdale. That is correct, Jennifer. Oh, that sucks. I can tell you, I know my house is definitely getting that, what you're talking about. Oh, I was looking for something. Sorry, guys. How close is this to Acton? Well, this is north of Agua Dulce, so very far from Acton. I can't give you any miles because I'd just be guessing. Very far from the Acton area. My good friends from Acton, the Gearians, were actually calling me or texting me earlier on, telling me about this fire. That was my first heads up that I was going to be here doing this this afternoon. Crown Valley, very far from this area, like very far. I would say probably 8 miles, 10 miles away. How many fires are burning? One that I know of. No structures have been damaged. This is not going to, you know, a lot can happen, but I can almost tell you that this is not going to make its way into the flames are not going to make their way into the Palmdale area. Somebody's saying right now that the 24-hour fitness, I guess that's the one off of 10 West, is going to be closed because of smoke. I believe that. I got a picture from my wife showing basically a lot of smoke around the house. I can tell you my house is in that shot somewhere. The winds are basically picking it up and then dropping it down into the Palmdale area, but it is just smoke right now. Of course, there may be some embers in there, but this is not that super high fire weather. This is more of a relaxed June lazy fire. Hey, Chris. Brenda, you say the flames are 1.5 miles from your house? Well, okay. I mean, so, all right. For anybody that's local, I'm going to do this for you guys right now. So that's the fire. This is the bulk of the fire that's burning right now. I can't really show you Agua Dulce Airport because it's kind of behind us and below us. But no, don't move, Alec. I didn't mean it like that. But that's going to be the high school right there. Okay, so Acton, what I would think is Acton, is going to be Crown Valley, and so that's going to be the Acton area right there. Now this is a really cool camera, and it does it can do amazing stuff. But that's Acton pretty much in my shot, and as I pan, and pan, there you go. There's the fire. So anybody that's in the Acton area, of course, if the fire department or sheriff's department says be ready, worry, get your stuff, do it. But it is very far from the Acton area. Louise, I appreciate that, but this is we're in the backup. This is like the crummy cam, the crummy cam. Well, it's not really. This is a great camera. I can give you guys some other stuff right now too, if you guys are local. That's Anna Verde right there. That's going to be the town, that little area, the housing area of Anna Verde. So it is, you know, the smoke is kind of coming down into that area. We saw Bouquet Canyon earlier, um, but there is a lot of distance between here and there. And because of the light winds and the way the weather is this afternoon, my guess is the flames are going to make a run to the top of that hill and then basically just kind of peter out. We'll probably be here, I don't know, my guess is forever. We are in 211 Foxtrot November. Your cherries are probably getting smoked. So the firefighting activity basically from the air is going to be a lot of helicopters, 6 of them in total. You can see one of the LA County 412s down there making its way, dropping water. Those drops are actually not going to be out here where those big, huge flames are because it would be almost a, I mean, if there was something what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? I haven't had my coffee. Imminent danger. They possibly might be doing that, but those huge flames like that, there's very little that can be done, especially when it's entrenched and moving up a hillside very quickly. So right now you can see firefighters on the ground down there on the flatlands, starting to put some water on hot spots that are getting very close to some structures out here. So they're going to keep those structures safe. They're going to get those hot spots out. But the flames themselves have been basically making a run behind that property up that hillside, and they're going to continue to do so till they get to the top and then slow down. Much like this side, it all kind of looks flat because of the lack of cameraman skills, but this is actually a hillside, and these flames literally ran up these hills, up the hillside to the top, and that's kind of where it stopped because of topography, meaning that's just the way it is, and and the FOS check line that they laid right there. Matt, there's that other station is sensationalizing. I find our desk saying not true. We're not hearing anything about that. So that's the information we're getting. I don't like to play that pissing match with other stations. You know, I worry about my shop and my area, and that's it. I don't really look over the fence that often. I'm hearing right now that officially they're saying now it is 300 acres. I just heard that over the scanner. So they were saying between 250 and 500. Well, 300 is what it's at right now. A lot of white smoke. A lot of times people will say, oh, the white smoke, and I'll make the joke about a pope being elected. But the reality is white smoke, dark smoke, in a brush fire situation, it doesn't, there isn't that, that dividing line. The white smoke is maybe more ash. The black smoke might be more brush, like the newer brush being burned. Kim, you're right. It is very close. It's dumping a lot of smoke onto the Palmdale area itself. Unconfirmed, we're hearing that that the 24-hour fitness out there in the Palmdale area actually is closed. I'm actually hearing about wires down. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I did. Thank you, though. Somebody's asking why they can't do FOS check or flame retardant out of the hoses. Well, one thing I got to say right out the box is they have something like that. It's called wet water. It's foam, basically. And a lot of times in this type of situation, you may see firefighters, not in this fire that we're seeing today, but sometimes you'll see them in wildland responses go up to homes or structures and hose it down with that white foam. Like a structure that may help the slowing of the fire. The reason why they don't do that is because on the ground, basically, they're just working on hot spots. That's it. They are just out there basically putting out the fire. They're putting out the hot spots. So water works well for that, and that's what they use. The FOS check lines usually are dropped by aircraft, and they make those big lines out there to stop the fire from movement. It'll basically slow the flames as they make their way around. I'm moving the camera kind of odd because right now I see two aircraft getting ready to possibly do a drop, maybe on the northern side up over on this side of the hill, north of where the fire is right now. But there is a lot of open flames down there, and I know I need to get these shots for later on. So we keep an eye on the aircraft and try to keep the camera on this for right now. Well, Sam, why would you be asking for Brennan when you know Brennan flies the helicopter and Stu runs the camera? I don't, my feelings are hurt. I'm not even going to tell you that the 14 is wide open and there's absolutely no slowing, or this fire is not affecting the 14 at all, because you hurt my feelings, Sam. I'm not going to do it, Brennan. Not going to do it. You should have tuned in earlier when we were showing the 14 and Acton and, and Bouquet Canyon and Ana Verde. Yasmin, they are not going to close the 14. The 14 freeway is fine. What are those red roof buildings, Farms? There are some structures down over here. The fire made its way, basically skirted around the edge, probably because they had brush clearance in place. So that yard we see right there was safe. There are some what appears to be homes over here as well. All right now safe. The fire basically skirted around that property, edge of the property, and made a run up that hillside right there. They're saying it has the potential of up to 1,000 acres. I dare you, Brennan. I dare you. Chris, that is correct. Good defensible space around any structures out here in the, well, anywhere up in the Antelope Valley. But actually, if you really think about it, almost anywhere, I got to work. Well, would have been nice if they would have somehow told us this before. Let me see if I can get their IFB up. Terrain, topography, terrain-driven fire. What's up, Alec? Oh, you did. You're going to get more skid, actually. Wow, that must have been really difficult for that guy that was reporting, and I'm sorry. Would have been nice if you gave us heads up. All right, I'm putting that radio back to our stuff. So you interneters, so right there, that's going to be some of those camp crews down there. Those are the hardworking men and women of LA County Fire brush patrols. They're going to get out there. You can see them wearing their backpacks. Let me see if I can, what kind of magic I can make happen here. Not too much, I'm sure. You can see them. They got their backpacks on there. I got to hang out and work with these, well, not work with these guys. I got to play while they worked. And I can tell you that is a strenuous job. Unbelievable what these guys do and how they do it. They are definitely the unsung heroes of any kind of firefighting. I'm doing a quick move because there's a helicopter out here just kind of running the running the edge. I thought that's what I thought they were going to do. Sorry, I didn't get a cleaner shot of that. They're basically just putting on like a couple of hot spots on the southern flank of the fire where the Foz check has already been laid down, and it basically has made its way to the top, then made that run. And that's what I'm talking about. So this is actually a hillside right there, and you can see how the flames basically ran up to the top of the hillside and then basically stopped. That's the same thing that's going to be happening right here. The hill is a little steeper. There's a little bit more of an area where it can run to. So we're going to see a lot of smoke continue to bellow out of this area. Nobody's been hurt. I got that information just a few moments ago. Nobody's been hurt. No structures have been damaged. The firefight definitely going to continue. And the smoke, well, that's going to be the topic of everybody's discussion out here in the northern area of Los Angeles. It's going to be a high desert, Santa Clarita, definitely the Acton, Agua Dulce area, because this can be seen from everywhere. But the Antelope Valley, that's where all this smoke is going. Because, you know, who doesn't want to go to the Antelope Valley? I love the Antelope Valley. So all the smoke's going there. And so if you're in the Antelope Valley, be kind of just know that that's going to be happening. I'm not going to be the one to say if you have health conditions, you probably know about that stuff. Thank you, Saul. I appreciate that. And you are correct. You got Forest Service, you got CAL FIRE, and you have LA County Fire down there. Is it by West Lancaster? No. This is Agua Dulce, northern end of Agua Dulce. You've got a long way to go before it gets to West Lancaster. But you might be smelling the smoke. Watching those helicopters down there, it always, it's still to this day, I look at these, and when you stand next to one of those helicopters like that CAL FIRE 412, if it's a 412, maybe it's a 416, I don't know. But you realize how big that aircraft is, and then when you're up here at 10,000 feet looking down at them, you realize how small they are, and what a huge job these guys have to do to put out these fires. How many loads of water that they have to bring out to drop to get out all these hot spots. Now, you've got the helicopters down there, and then as I get a little bit wider and pan over, you've got the fixed-wing aircraft that have the Foz check in them. Now, they're going to be doing some drops here shortly, and they're going to shore up those lines that they've been making all afternoon. So that's one of them right there. That's that British aircraft, BA something or another. So anyway, he's loaded. He already made his drop. My bad. He made his drop right over there. I missed it. And you can see they're making more lines. And again, somebody, you know, I hear it all the time. And, you know, the armchair firefighters, and they're like, why aren't they putting it in the front where the fire? Because if they put it in the front where the fire, well, one thing is it's covered in smoke, though it'd be extremely dangerous. And the second thing is that's not how you fight a fire like this. This is how you fight the fire. And the reason they put these lines back here is if the winds change. Oh, so they're talking about Antelope Valley Fairgrounds is an area for evacuation of large animals. Just gonna kind of put that out there. That's right, Sarah. They know what they're doing. Keith, you want to stay on the fixed wing? Why? Little doors are popped open. What's going to happen? Keith, I don't understand. Why do we want to stay on this? Oh, come on, man. I hate this camera. Oh, I hate this camera. Oh, I hate this camera. And you know what I always say? A good carpenter never blames his tools, and I just blamed my tools. If I was better at what I was doing, I would have got that. No, it's not, Chris. We're in the backup today. This is a well-aged and seasoned Cineflex. All right, Steve. We'll drop by in a few minutes and pick it up. Right, Brittany. You are so right. Somebody's asking about the podcast. We just put out the last podcast. They come out on Fridays. Britta, aus Deutschland. Michelle Ruth, every day is fire season in Southern California. That's what I learned a long time ago. So the last time we looked at this piece of property, there was some open flames right there in the backyard area. We saw some fire crews out there, hand lines in place, doing what they needed to do, and they did it. Another little, I guess, a little hot spot going right there, but that's light grass, and with the light winds, it'll probably be out before you know it. What caused the fire? That is under investigation. I did hear a few moments ago about I'm laughing because somebody on my Twitter account just was talking about how much I love my camera. 20 acres? Oh heck no! We're at 300 and with the potential of 1,000. Michelle Brewer, let me let you know that I actually tried to call them today. I was very busy with some other work stuff in the morning before I got to work, but I did make an attempt to call the sticker place. I am still waiting on my shipment. I'm just letting you guys know it's you know, I should be a politician. 100% transparency. Jennifer, just real quick, it's 300 acres. 300 acres. And complete transparency on the stickers. I ordered them on the 24th, and you know, you'd think they'd be out of art and they'd be made by now. And so I called them because it just keeps the update just keeps saying artwork. You know, it's art layout. So I don't know what the next step is after that. Hopefully we'll be getting them here shortly. As soon as we get them, I can tell you, I'll make a count here pretty soon, and if I have to, I'm going to order more earlier because I might have to order more stickers. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. Everybody's asking about what started it. I heard them talking about some wires down. Edison is out here as well working with the fire department, and they were talking about some wires down. Now, were the wires down the cause of the fire, or were the wires down because of the fire? So that is the big question. So right now we're just going to just go with Edison is here and they have some wires down. We do not have a reason for the fire. What we're seeing right here is what's called backfire operations. That guy right there is not an arsonist. He is lighting fires though. Two of those guys, three of those guys, and they're lighting fire, and basically what they're doing is they're creating a line, a fire break, basically, by burning off that vegetation that you see right there. So these are what's called backfires, and that's LA County Fire down there, one of their brush response crews, and basically they're burning off some of that brush in that area to keep the area safe. Go ahead, go ahead. The fuel situation is always about the same. We have about 2 hours of fuel on board. We left at 2 o'clock. We're probably going to be able to squeak the top of the 4, and then we're going to have to go get fuel. But let me double check with the pilot. The pilot says, I'm about right. Laura, that is a long story, but I'm sure somebody in the group might be able to help you out. So while they're doing backfires, these guys are making fire lines. The only thing is after we get fuel, we'll probably be in our aircraft, and the picture's probably going to be a little bit better. How about Stu's going to be happier? There we go. Not with the doubler. Maybe not the most prettiest picture ever, but there you go. Nice, nice drop right there. They're continuing to create that line. That's going to be on the eastern end, southeastern end of the fire. The northwestern end is what's covered in smoke right now. Michelle, I have to correct you because I don't want to have a divorce over this. The actual name Sky Snitch probably came out of my mouth because my wife was calling me that. I was telling her a story about how we were watching somebody and the pilot was making calls and calling out where the bad guy was hiding, and my wife was like, wow, so like you're Sky Snitch. And that's how that started, and then I actually said it some other time on some other something or another, and I'm sure a viewer or somebody watching might have tweeted it or wrote it, but originally originally, as far as I know, those words came out of my wife's mouth. Stu and crew, though, that is 100% you guys. That was 100% Facebook or Twitter. But just to pay the bills and talk about why we're actually here and not stop being so social, for gosh sakes, on the social media. We should call this work media. Maybe we have a different attitude, huh? Lot less open flames just in the about hour or so that we've been out here. 300 acres plus is where we're at right now. LA County Fire fighting this fire along with CAL FIRE and, of course, the Forest Service, northern part of Agua Dulce. The big questions there, anybody that's joining us, is going to be, how is this going to affect the freeway, the 14? I got to go home. My loved ones are going to be driving home from the valley. The 14 wide open, even Sierra Highway wide open. This is far from that area. Just for the viewers that are concerned about that right now, this is the area that is burning. That right there is going to be Bouquet Canyon. That's going to be the Bouquet Canyon area that takes you out over towards Lake Elizabeth Road, which is probably the actual intersection. Ooh, I got lucky. No, that's not it. It's somewhere like right, oh, there it is. There it is. That's going to be Bouquet Canyon and Lake Elizabeth Road right there. So it gives you an idea how far away from, homes and etc. The actual open flames are. And as you see this peak right here, even though the smoke is dropping down on the other side because of the winds are going to be in the Palmdale area. The smoke's going to be in the Palmdale area, but the fire itself probably going to stop when it makes its way to the top of that hillside right there. They're saying possibility of 1,000 acres when this thing is done. I think that is a generously high amount. The fire has not destroyed any structures. It's come close to some. Firestone Ranch is surrounded by fire and stones. I like that. That is funny. No, Sue, it is not. Agua Dulce is and Sierra Highway should be wide open. Let's double check now that we're all here together. I think I can find Sierra Highway. Let me take a look. That is Sierra Highway. Those are regular old cars. Let me, there is the beautiful Agua Dulce Winery. Let me take a picture of my monitor because I dig those guys. It's not some kind of weird shameless plug. I can talk about where I hang out. So looks like it's open, and I know Agua Dulce Canyon Road is, did I pass it? I might have passed it. Guys, work with me. Where'd you go? Oh, I got you on the camera. It looks like Sierra Highway is open, both directions. I don't have any confirmation on that. I'll try to find out, but it does appear that it is open. Chris Wheeler, I don't know. I know that there might be limited cell service out here, and that's why they're doing it. And yes, it is annoying, but you know what? We're professionals, and we deal with that. I can't even say it with a straight face. Joan, yes, definitely. They have just under 500 firefighters on the ground and in the air, and they are doing an amazing job this afternoon. I stay with these high and wide shots, but there are actual ground crews down there. A lot less open flame. The fire made a run up that hillside and then basically slowed down to a stop because there's no more fuel. Even the LA County Fire was saying earlier on, this is a terrain-driven fire. There's very light winds. Lori, you're right. I don't get out to Oklahoma enough. That would be awesome if I could do that. Chris, you're right, brother. Oh, thank you, Selena. Dave, really? I didn't hear that. The last, and I am listening, and the last I heard was 300 plus with the potential of 1,000. But if that's what you're hearing, I believe you. Those little bit of fire that we're seeing down there, I'm pretty sure is all going to be backfires that the fire department set to burn off some of that excess brush right there in that area just to make sure if the winds change or there's a problem that... Paula, hang on, I got something for you. Paula in Anna Verde. I almost bought a house in Anna Verde, but at the last minute they changed the rules. There you go. There is Anna Verde. So that is Anna Verde. I don't know which house is yours, but that's Anna Verde right there. And that is, you know, that gives you an idea how far away the actual flames are. Of course, you're going to be getting smoke. Jennifer, I don't care. Sophie, I don't really understand what you're asking me right there. You were talking about, I think you're asking why they were doing those backfires. Basically, they had this area has thicker brush right there. So the fire department went out and basically set some backfires because there's a good break and the winds are cooperating. So basically what they're doing is they're clearing that brush area out. So if something happens later on, winds might change direction, whatever, that area will be cleared, and there won't, the fire won't be able to start there and move its way towards those structures. Ileana, I think that's how you say, there were some structures threatened. There is definitely structure protection in place in some of these buildings and ranches down there. No structures have been lost. Steve, believe me, brother, you don't need any more of me. Alabama. Have I been to Alabama? I think I would remember. But of course I'd love to go. This fire has been going on before I got to work, so I'd say 2 hours, maybe a little more. Sweet home, Alabama. Where is Agua Dulce? Well, you guys just missed it. All right, so this is actually, I'm thinking you're asking about the actual winery when you say something like that. I mean, I know Agua Dulce is a town. Technically, this is northern Agua Dulce. Oh, I love New Hampshire. I love the New Hampshire. I love the accent. It's so political. The winery is, oh man, I lost it. Where's the winery? Out the window. It's far. Let's leave it at that. The winery is far away from the fire. That's the winery, isn't it? No, that's the church. I'm way too far. I'm way, way too far. The winery's that way. People at home are probably saying, wow, you know this area way too well.